So, very good morning, everyone. Very good evening. I'm Yash Nera. I'm your host for today's session. Today, we have a special guest with us who will be taking the webinar on effective elocution and self growth under professional environment. It is the most beloved topic among students as it speaks about personality development and communication skills, which are essentially required to grow in a professional world and professional environment. And our today's guest speaker is Mrs. Soumya Jain, ma'am. She is working in the field of psychology and right now is the assistant professor at IILM. She has experience of 4 years with 2 years of experience in the research field too. She has a rich educational background, currently pursuing her PhD on entrepreneurial cultural and holds a double master's in the field of organizational psychology and human resources. In addition, she has presented her research work in national and international conferences and has published various papers in reference journals. She believes that no two individuals are similar, and there are special moments in one's life that pull everything we have learned. She loves to mentor young minds by helping them coverage theory, practice, and learning and talent. So, without taking much of your time, I would request Dr. Soumya ma'am to start with the topic. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Yash, for introducing me. It was really lovely to have you here. And rightly
Thank,
stated, belonging from psychology as a platform, I would say Mentor City is doing a very good job for pushing the students and even the professionals to learn and be the buddy. Different corporate society nowadays are using these terms called mentor city or mentor working or being friend with the students. Now, the reason behind that is like being available for the student is very much important because they are the future of our nation, even for the country or international platforms. Why people are going outside, giving them direction is very much
thank,
required. So,
exactly.
great initiative by you guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, coming to
So,
the topic, you want to say something, Yash?
no, ma'am, I was just like, let's start with the presentation. Yeah. Thank you,
Sure.
ma'am.
So, as today's topic talk about how the self growth is important, as an individual person, the self growth becomes very much important. Before even starting about the growth, let's talk about the topic which we have given. Being a person, if you are not able to understand yourself, you don't have confidence within you. How will you manage the platform of having or being available for the society? Why your parents are investing so much on yourself? Why you think you're capable enough for doing certain things that you're doing right now? Will you be able to communicate? Will you be able to be the part of the group? That confidence matter. We all have seen Friends, right? The most popular show, quote unquote, Big Bang Theories. Why they have friends together? Why it was only based on friendship? The confidence level matches. Will I be able to talk to the person or not? There was a scenario where one of the friend was not able to talk to other friend, especially when it comes to girls. We have all come across about understanding the self in different scenarios, how we perform in professional world or personal world. It becomes very much important to understand how we will communicate. That communication becomes a challenge. That confidence into the picture that is light, that becomes a challenge. The certain amount of confidence is required. If we talk about people who have lots of confidence, we already say that they're overconfident, or they are egoistic, or they are arrogant. Different names with different people. But how does this self is created? First, when it comes to our heredity, when we talk about, the things which we have got from our genes, from our parents, the behavioral patterns. Why our parents say, like, you're gone on your mother or you're gone on your father? That DNA, quote unquote, genes are inculcated in ourselves. And somewhere or other, that represents our behavior, that shows our personality. And that personality only overpowers or comes abroad when it comes to working platforms. In a given scenario, if you are growing, your IQ level increases. Why it is so? The reason behind is your environmental culture that you're belonging. Something that you have inculcated, that is your headed. Second is the environment factor, which you as an individual are experiencing. Might be possible that what you have learned from your parents, but what you are facing as an individual is way different. Your experience, including what you have got, together yours becomes a person. The culture that you brought up, especially when it comes to India, we have a diversified inclusion of the platforms. We have Hindus, we have Muslims, we have Christians, and even minorities. Why every single platform or every single person is always talking about this is my religion. These are certain norms, quote unquote, that we have to follow. Or if we do not follow that, we are named. Why society says that if you don't do that or you are not doing it, you're not the right person. Your personality, your aura, your communication pattern, your interaction with someone, your speaking style, your perception of your mind, everything changes by these three scenarios. The ethnic group you belong in. Now, ethnic group and cultural heredity are something different. We have seen a Taliban scenario, right? That where people are forced to learn or to rule whatever the person are speaking. But there is a situation where people are going against that, they're not accepting it. The rebellion nature that gives you or that shapes your personality, where you as an individual have a right to know what is right and what is wrong. We have, personalities which are introverted, which are extroverted, people who are outsocial, people who do not speak. And now there is a new term called ambivert, where people are outgoing also, where the people are inborn also. That depends upon the person you're talking to. Not necessary, right? Whatever you are saying or whatever the platform you are giving, the same way you will talk to everyone. With friends, we are very close. We open up everything. But might be possible that we do not open with our parents, we do not open with our teachers, we do not open with our grandparents. The scenario between how you as an individual are different between your personal and professional life. Personal life, where you as an individual are talking to your friends. Professional life, where you are talking to your teachers in schools. In corporate, to your managers. Platform or scenarios changes. The communication pattern changes. The style changes. Now, that choosing of how to speak and when to speak is required. Because I believe, as an individual, as a millennial generation, every single one is aware about the knowledge that they are surrounded with. You have internet platforms, you have systems where you can get information very easily. But knowing what to speak, when to speak, and how to speak, that sense of maturity comes under the picture of psychological environment that you're going through. As the maturity goes on, we say that let be silent, let's not talk much. Now, why our physical environment is different from our personal environment? We, pertinently or certainly have certain perception or judgment around the people. just by their appearance, that he or she is dressed up like that, maybe that's why he is behaving like that. Quote unquote caste and class. Again, India being a diversified, community or culture we talk about. There are different platforms or different softwares. We always talk about discrimination, quote unquote. There are people who belongs from the minority background. They are quota system. We work against that in corporate world also. When we are sitting in the boardroom and we see that one person is preferring the individual person because he or she is the favorable one, the biasness we talk about, what's the reason behind that? We question ourselves. These physical environment changes our perspective. We say that yes, we belong from India as a culture. We have a different people who belongs from different class, culture, community. But are we accepting that? Again, let's take an example of how an cultural heritage comes into the picture. A group of friends who are talking in a native language called Bengali, and there is a person who do not or is not aware about that language. Might be possible all three are talking about something else, but the person in front of you is not aware about the native language. He or she cannot understand what you are speaking. He might think that you are saying something bad to him or her. As a Indian behavior or as a human behavior, we say or we feel that whatever the person is speaking can be effective to us. Why there is a on fear of acceptance of society, like whatever we are doing everyone should accept it. The way we are speaking everyone should understand that. Am I dressed up properly? Am I looking nice? Am I working as a trendy person? That constant fear of being neglected and being accepted is always into the picture. Now that differentiates between a personality and a character. There is a scenario where your individual traits can be more overpowered by your type personalities, your behavioral patterns. Very general saying it is there that if you are clumsy, you are careless, you will not be good in academics. If you're organized, you know where the work is, where your books are, where and you are organized in your bookshelf, in your clothing, then you are more good in academics because you're focused. Again, then the terms comes like a disorder for OCDs, obsessive compulsive disorders. Like you're again going to wash your hands. Now the question arises why we are talking about these particular topics when it comes to communication as a part, when it comes to self growth. Because knowing your personality, knowing your character, knowing your behavioral patterns is very much important. If you as an individual are aware about where to stop, how to behave, in front of whom what to speak, is that person that much important for me that I should say something, or I can neglect that person. There is a system or a theory called cocktail party effect that talks about if you are in the party and someone says your name but they are not calling you out. For example, let's take my name. They're calling Soumya. But they are not calling me, there are other Soumyas too. My attention will be differentiated. Why it is so? Because my attention differentiate is there. Single pause, being conscious about what you are saying, constantly nervous behavior, constant fear in mind. We do have, friends, we have siblings which have fear of speaking. We go out with them, but they are not able to give the order because they are surrounded with the people which have more confidence, are more out social, outgoing, that do not, or they do not give a person a preference or a space that he or she can come forward and say he cannot do, let's leave him, we should do for his sake also. That push is required from the society. In today's scenario also, when we talk about being right and wrong, now who decides that what is right and what is wrong? I might say that no, if you are being open to me and being a student, you're more frank to me, that is wrong. Then maybe possible other person will say it's okay. They are the students, they can be, frank to the teachers. Difference between frank and friendly comes into the picture. Frank towards the teacher is okay. Friendly towards the teacher is not accepted. Why so? Because people will say that grading system will be affected, or quote unquote what we say, the students are not real for everyone. Now, understanding that, let's come back to the topic of self growth and understand how individual can have an emotional intelligence within themselves. Understanding that if you are going wrong, another person can make you right. Or if someone is going through the wrong platform, or they are going through the hardship of their life, you as an individual have a personality that you understand that. And you provide sympathy or empathy. Again, the question comes, what is the level that where you should stop? Or should you stop when you are having an empathy and sympathy towards someone? Having an arrogant nature, being open to everyone. Two different statements, two different personality styles. Will all these work in professional world where you will be able to understand the line between how much you have to accept, how much you have to empathize? The fairness can be always been biasness. For may it be that what you are saying it's fair to you, but it not be fair to me. What's right for you might be not right for me. The difference between opinion matters, and then only there becomes a conflict. Solving that conflict in a mature state, in a mature mind, that comes into the picture when it comes to working in a corporate or working anywhere or living in a very basic life. Let's talk about how we as an individual talk to a sibling, fight with our sibling. Can we fight or talk to the same way to our second cousins? We have seen the scenarios where we are fighting with our real siblings, and suddenly someone says something to him or her. We will be there as a shield. Now, this all patterns of how you are behaving in the different situations shows your personality, shows your character, shows the pattern of behavior that you will be having. You being defensive, you standing in front of your sibling when someone is saying something. You will do the same with for your best friends. Same for a person who you are working with and is the employer. Same fairness you will have for everyone. Question arises, will you be the same truthful person with everyone as you're truthful to these three people? You will be more responsible, right? You will feel that I have more responsibilities. We are connected to these three, to my sibling, to my best friend, or to the person I am working with. Having the trust, just to give a brief about what we have talked about and how the self importance becomes a challenge, how self growth or self understanding becomes a challenge when you as an individual are growing a platform. Now, building your self esteem is important, like having confidence in yourself. If you will have low self esteem, you will always be questioning yourself. Am I doing right? Am I on the right platform? What I am doing it? He can do it, why cannot me? He can only do it, I cannot do it. Questioning your abilities, questioning yourself constantly. The attitude towards the life changes because of your self esteem. If you're self confident, if you're confident enough that you will be able to do that, you will be able to crack the CAT exam, you will be able to crack the NET exam, then you will do that. If you're planning to go towards to the science stream and you have the NEET exam next day and you have not studied but you have the notes, might be possible you read the whole night and you get crack the exam. But that positivity, that self confidence is required. The individuality fighting with the globe. The third point we talk about, realizing that you as an individual are equally important than the others. Because there are millions and trillions of people. Fighting and working on your individual growth, your individuality becomes important. Let me give you my own example. What I believe is my name is given by my mother. My caste is given by my father. But what I have done in the life, I worked for that doctor tag. Making your individuality becomes very much important. Who you are, how you will see yourself in 5 to 6 years. Maybe you are having rough time right now, you are having fights with your friends or your boyfriends or girlfriends, and then you are feeling like what is happening to me. But question yourself, is that fight or is that person you are feeling low for is worth it? Is that person themselves are feeling the same way that you are feeling? Will he or she is feeling the way that you're feeling for them? We have friends, right, who we cry a lot for. And suddenly they are, having parties and going out and they're not thinking about you at all. Be sensitive towards the issues that you're facing. Even if you're not facing, be sensitive towards what the other person is facing. If we know someone and suddenly the pattern of behavior changes, or one person who is very calm and suddenly becomes aggressive, you will be there. You will understand, yes, we know the person is going through something. Now, why it is so? Just because you know that person? Why cannot we do the same with other people that we're not aware about? Might be possible they have gone through the wrong day. They had a bad day. Suddenly we have a perception that this person is wrong because they're behaving with this way. That perception should change. That perception is only the matter of time. We ourselves, change our perceptions. We have said that we know that this person is not like that. He must have gone through something, and that's why he or she is behaving like that. Or he has behaved in a wrong way, and suddenly the behavior has changed. That means something was bad at that time. Or he or she has realized his mistake, and that's why they are behaving in a different way. It's all about perception. Very basic example of how we talk about half filled glass and half empty glass. Small perception, small thought process, small understanding changes who you are, helps you to grow. Once you have understood about yourself, let's come to the picture of how you will deal yourself in the face of corporate world. In very first round, when you are the part of an interview, that's your, I would say, a plus point where no one is aware about who you are. Your 15 minutes can say that this person will be hired or rejected. So you should know what's your strength and weaknesses. You can be good in creatives, you can be good in animations, you can good in communication skills, you can have the interpersonal skills. Writing that down in the resume is different. Presenting that in front of the interviewer for that 15 minutes become important. If you're not able to do that, then there is a threat of an opportunity, that yes, you can miss that opportunity in a fraction of seconds. So you as an individual should know what you are, and then you should pitch equally and exactly in the interviews and after the interview too. It's not about you have shown that you're good in leadership styles and you have present in some scenarios where you were the leader, you were the team lead. But when the task is given to you after hiring, you were not able to do that. Then your strength becomes your weakness, or you're missing that opportunity that is given to you. Different opportunities can again become a threat at a very friction of second. Why? Quote unquote fear of failure, quote unquote fear of competition, quote unquote where we feel that this person is already doing the work, why should we do that? We feel that there is a superior who is already working on the project. We can give the input once, twice, thrice, and after that we will feel like let's move ahead, let's leave this project and work on something else. And certainly and suddenly that senior removes your name from that project because you were there just for the inputs, not working. And that project is hired for the government work, which is giving you an extra pay. And suddenly you realize you did a bad thing. or you were not there, or the person has not taken your name, and you realize that I should be there, I should have been there, and then you have a conflict. Why didn't you put my name? I was there, I gave you suggestions, you implied that. These all opportunities that you lose can make you feel you like yes, it is a threat to you. Now, when we talk about opportunities, it's very much important to know about what motivates you. Maybe as an individual, you get motivated by money. Maybe you get motivated by recognition. Maybe you are okay to work in, a 9 to 5 job, but maybe you're open for flexible shifts. That difference, that, change of how the situation happens, that different motivation patterns, that is the biggest challenge for an individual to know. We will say that please hire us, this is our profile, this is a job description, and we would like to work for your company. And these are, let's give it a SWOT analysis. This is my strength, this is my weakness, and these are the opportunities which I feel that your company can provide me. Now question arises, if the company is not giving you the package that you feel you should have, but the company is giving you the constant recognition for every small thing. Question comes to you, because you are understanding yourself. Will you choose that company or not? Is the monetary fund more important or non-monetary fund more important to you? Is the working environment important to you, or is your comfort, your individual comfort is important to you? Are you ready to work in a pressure, or you want the mind relaxation? Very basic and common examples, and even you must have also encountered as a student or even as an employee, like the shift between the physical mode to the virtual mode. How this shift has happened, how people used to present themselves, how they were aware about themselves, and suddenly because of this virtual mode, because of the survival, they have changed their working styles, how their comfort level has changed, how the pattern of behavior has changed, even from the company's perspective, how the company's requirement has changed. Now they are open for hybrid mode, they are open for online mode too, but the work and the production and the revenues, resources are still into the picture. The pattern have changed. That depends upon how succession planning you are doing. Placing the right person for the right job. But that is a point for an HR. But you as an individual should know, are you ready to do that work? You are not good in convincing, but you're pitching for the sales team. Are you ready to do that? Okay, you have felt that your friends are going for digital marketing because it is booming. But do you have that technical skills? Do you have that, social media knowledge? You will learn. Learning is not in question. But some traits, some personality, some skills are already there. Are you able to pitch? Are you able to sell something? When it comes to your self knowledge. Self knowledge only is the first criteria that helps you out for placing yourself or choosing right, I would say career. Why everyone is going for MBA? Is that quote unquote what the God she talks about? Everyone is doing it. We should also do. And after even MBA, your specializations comes into the picture. Are we going for international business? Are we going for international management? Again, different thing. Are we talking about, startup things? Are we talking about the entrepreneurs? Are we talking about, I would say operations? Now, talking becomes very easy. Constant learning and bringing that learning into the picture becomes a challenge. There is a triangle. This is cell, this is your classroom, and this is your future. Knowing yourself, understanding your career, and choosing that career for your success. Everyone is in the middle, but you are the three. If you are able to understand yourself, if you are able to know that this is right for you, or you can do that, then you can select your career choices. Then you can pitch for the right career person. That see, this is the company I'm looking forward to. These are my 4 5 companies, top 5 that I would like to work in. And this is the job role I feel more suitable to. Know yourself first, understand your career choices, then pitch for the companies that you want to work with. One profile again comes under to different profiles. Let's talk about HR. If you want to go for human resources, and suddenly you feel like you are good in interviewing but you're not good in selecting the resumes, you cannot work for the glimpse, or you are good in training people. Maybe possible that okay, you can just have an interaction with someone and you can feel like this person is right for this job or this person is not right. Then second thing arises where you have a potential to train people, where you have skills that you can pitch in into, or you can work upon to have measurements. You can develop psychological testing, you can bring into the employee feedback system, or you are good in accounts but want to become an HR person, so you can work in a payroll system. So knowing yourself, knowing your career, and knowing your again skills related to that career perspective. Yes, for initial stages everyone says that you are an executive. That particular platform is open for everyone. You will be an HR executive, you will be a marketing executive, you will have to do all the works. But after doing all the works, you will have to select one thing for your main career. Why after BBA people go for MBA and they have the specialization? Why people or the students who have taken the science stream in the schools and they are doing PCMB, and after the graduation and the masters they select one single stream, because that particular stream will help them out to know that yes, we can go for biology, or we can go for microbiology. Certain aspects will become challenging, but you will have to understand, you as an individual will have to know that yes, this is the potential I have. Identifying the gaps between your thought process. Find someone who can help you out, to find the difficulty levels that you're facing. Might be possible that you're facing difficulties to select your career. Might be possible you are facing some difficulties at the home, but you do not have that work life balance. You are able to do that. You know what to do and how to do. But you are a procrastinator who always leave things for the future and then cry and crib in the future that why have I, left that time behind. That situation, that gaps, that difficulties, you will have to find out. Now, knowing that difficulties and filling the gap, we have a map in between. This map is basically built of how the corporate works. Suddenly, there is a competition. There are two companies, A and B, where A is lacking behind, and B is in the huge power. And because of this COVID hit, because of the pandemic, we have already seen how the companies have laid off. And A is, planning to have a quit. They want to stop working, but they want to give it a shot. They have, taken 2 months' time. First step, that for these 2 months we will work. And we will see that if we can move ahead or we have to stop working or the company will shut down. We will see the resources which are required, the departments which are lacking behind, or the departments which can shut down and the company can still run. Then the training process happens. Now, why we are talking about these companies? Now, relate this whole situation with your personal life. You have your exams, a 2 months after, and suddenly you realize that you have not studied at all. You take time, you have a timetable in your hand, you try to divide the subject, the chapters, then you have revision, then the mastery of that you ask someone to have a revision test, give you a revision test. Budget for your real life is, are you able to achieve that result? An appreciation, if you are able to achieve that result, the reinforcement that we talk about. If you are able to do that, some your parents will give you a chocolate, or you yourself will buy a chocolate for your self love or self acceptance. Why we need anyone else? And if you're not able to do that, you will punish by skipping the mobile for 4 to hours. Same happens in the corporate society. After the company have able to understand that these are the loopholes that they're talking about and they can leave it, they will train the employees. They will train as if that this is the platform we are lacking behind and you have to work upon it. On job and off job training, this is a budget that we have for the training. And after the training, if they are able to do that, if the company is able to understand or stand side by side with the B, that means the training or the timing that they have provided, they have 100% given their attention. Same will happen with you if you as an individual are investing your whole time, 2 months in your examination and learning, your result will be great. No, managing your skills. Managing your own individuality. We have already talked about all these six in the examples. Appraisal system, again, it happens with individual person, like what exactly appraisal or performance appraisal you. I can give you money, I can give you, bonuses, I can raise the package percentage, or I can give you recognition in front of your friends for every single projects. Again, there are companies, nowadays which are providing a buddy system. Buddy system as if you have just joined that company, and there will be a person who will help you out to understand what is the vision and mission of the company. And whenever you leave or whenever you have a lack, that buddy, that mentor, that coacher will be there to help you out. Managing change, that we talked about the previous example, how A will be equal to B just by the training. Again, communications come into the picture. That is a biggest platform, I would say. If you are saying something to me without any distrust or wrong words, that communication, that transparent communication without any adding any of the words. Now, why it is important that, or we have already, seen a scenarios where we tell someone something, and that someone tells that thing to other person. The difference between the communication, the difference between the words already happens. So when you're working in a corporate, so when you're working anywhere, why we always or we should have the transparent, communication. The superiors to tell everything to the middle person to tell to the lower person. Why there is a profit in between, we question. I guess we will stop the session over here. Yash, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
We can take questions if you want.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much. So, ma'am, we have few questions here. Students have been asking. So, should we address that? Should we address the questions, ma'am?
Yeah, we should address the question.
Okay. So, ma'am, our first question is here: how to develop these skills in online mode, as now we cannot meet face to face?
Hi, Nikita. Thank you for your question. I would say rightly stated and rightly poked out nowadays how the physical platform has changed from the virtual platform. Managing virtual team has become a bit challenge. But it's not about that we're not meeting anyone. We have constant meetings for Google Meet or MS Team. We have same perspectives, same opinions. That's you, be it physical mode or in a virtual mode. You are pitching yourself. If you have that skill, you will show that. Developing a skill, having a friendship, working in a corporate world, everything comes into the picture equally as a physical mode or a virtual mode. I don't feel that there is a difference. Why so? Because as a student or even as an employee, whatever knowledge we will have, we will share that. We will present in the same way. The skill set or even the presentation becomes different. How so? If I be the person who is, giving your presentation in a virtual mode, I will be able to see your reactions. But same happens in the virtual mode. You can easily, open your screen and open your videos and mic and you can speak it. If you see your teacher was not touching you after every single second when she was teaching, same was happening in the class. She was on the podium, you were on the desk. There was a discussion. Same can happen here. There is a face, there is a mic, you can speak, she is able to see you. I guess that answers your question.
So, ma'am, we have another question from Nikita. Uh, it is there any way to find out our strengths and weaknesses? Like self introspection is important, but how to do that?
Great question, I would say,
Self
because
introspection.
after even months, there is a change. You yourself feel a change, like, yes, 1 month ago I was this day, and after 1 month ago, I am not like that. I like this and I dislike this. Now, knowing yourself and noticing that change becomes an important. Like, might be possible I like chocolates when I was 6 years old, and now 16, I don't like it. Now, that change is important. But noticing that, having a self regulation becomes important. The ways you can do is, see, academics is not always a, I would say, a plus point. Always see how you are interacting with individual, how you're interacting with the people who are younger to you, how youngers are interacting with you. Are they liking your company? How elders are interacting and how you are interacting with them. If you're not able to understand what they are speaking, if you do not want to listen what they are speaking, you have a pattern of ignorance, or you just, what we say, take answer suno dusre ka answer nikalo, the difference between how the people are interacting with an individual, the opportunities that you are getting. Yes, I guess that's the answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. We have another question here from Manisha Das. I'm bringing that up. So, ma'am, she's asking, as you said during the session, that a project didn't work out, and if she left that, and after that, opportunities arises, and she regrets. So, does it mean that we have to stick to the end, irrespective of the situation, or what shall we do?
See, I would say speak out. If you don't like something and you were part of it, even if you have given only opinions, you were part of it. Now, that depends what you want. Do you want a credit? What's the bonding of you with that individual? Were you able to treat correctly? He was your manager and you had a good communication. He will or she will understand. Or might be possible he will make you the part of the project. But if you have, certain differences, or if you are saying that, see, I do not know anything, just give me the credit because I've given you the suggestions. If you're stubborn, or if you want to learn, there is a difference having a credit, the reason why you want to be in that project. That will be the difference. If I am saying I want to be in that project just because I want credit, and I am behaving and reacting in the same way, that the manager will ignore me. If I am pleasing and I am saying that, sir, I really want to be in this project because this matches up to my caliber and the skill set that is required, I do have, I really would like to learn, and he will appreciate that. Where we talk about the communication skills and how we take the patterns, it's all about how you present yourself. So I would say, yes, you can stick to the end if you want, or if you don't want to stick, you cannot, or you should not. You should have clarity what exactly you want.
Yeah, that's all right, ma'am. We have another question from Akansha. So her question is how to lower the stress, basically, how to handle it and how can we overcome.
So great, Akansha. I would say everyone here, including me, we all have stress in our life. It's all about what kind of stress we are facing. What is that situation relevant enough? For example, if you as a student are facing stress about your examination, it will be there for lifelong. Your schools, your colleges, the stress of examination will be lifelong. But how to lower that? And it's all about like meditation, yes, but taking that situation in a positive way. If I have a conflict with my friend and that is giving me stress, like, see, this is constantly bugging me. Whatever you are saying, texting me, it is bugging me. I cannot have it or I cannot bear it. Then have a fun. So change the situation in a positive way, change the situation in a positive attitude. I guess I answered the question.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am,
Anything
thank
else?
you very much, ma'am. That was all, ma'am. That was all from all of our sides. Thank you very much, ma'am. It was an enlightening webinar for all of us. I'm pretty much sure that our student community will definitely get the help out of all these things that you have shared with us.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
and
much,
ma'am,
Yash. Thank you so.
yeah, in the process, I would even like to thank Mentorcity for giving us this wonderful opportunity. And I would also like to make a request to all of our attendees to follow our Discord handles and do visit our website, mentorcity.com, in order to participate in our upcoming hackathons. Nextly, I would also like to thank all the attendees for joining the webinar with us. Thank you, everyone. That was all from the side of Mentorcity, and we are now signing off for today. Stay safe, everyone, and thank you so much for attending our webinar. Thank you for joining.